Can you trade without emotions and almost be like a robot? That is a question that I get asked almost on a daily basis, and a listener, thank you for that, send it in to me. And if you want me to answer your question in one of the next episodes, you can go to Tradeciety.com/podcast, and you will find a form there where you can submit your questions, and you can also find all previous episodes there. But today I want to talk about the question, can you trade without emotions? And what does it take to be a trader that can control his emotions? And first of all, this is obviously my personal opinion and my experience from the last 12 years of being a trader. I have never met a trader who is really emotionless, who does trade 100% like a robot. And I don't think this is even possible. It is our human nature to have emotions, to just feel something inside of us. And I don't even think that it is something that we should aspire to be. We don't want to turn off our emotions. We don't want to be emotionless. That's really what makes us as humans, and that is also something that we can utilize for our benefit, I think. But obviously in trading, we need to find a way to deal with our emotions, because in the end, I think success or failure in trading is 99% based on how we deal with our emotions. And emotions can be a great indicator of what we are doing right now, and they can help us understand who we are, and they can help us understand the trading decisions that we are about to make. And what we want to achieve as traders is that we want to catch ourselves before we make a stupid trading decision, before the emotions take over. We want to catch ourselves before it happens so that we can control it. We don't want to necessarily, and we don't have to necessarily turn it off. And again, it all comes down to expectations. If you expect that you want to become a robot and trade like a robot and just have no emotions, if you realize that this is just not possible, because that's our human nature, if your expectations are not met and if you just can't achieve it, then you will get frustrated. But if you are a little bit more realistic, and if your goal is to just be more aware of your emotions and just being able to catch yourself before you're doing something stupid, that is very, very achievable. That can be done within a relatively short period of time, I think, if you follow the right approach. And I will give you some tips for that. But first of all, we need to understand what happens when emotions take over. And you usually feel it inside of you, and you usually feel it coming up if you know how to listen to yourself. But in today's world, we have been so primed, is maybe not the right word, so conditioned, that's the word, to just live based on impulses. We are not trained anymore, and we have completely lost the ability to just be quiet and just do nothing. Did you just have the impulse to just check your phone, maybe pull out Twitter, maybe check a website, just because I paused for 2 or 3 seconds? Just look around you when you're outside, for example. People, when they're waiting for the bus, you will almost never find a person who just sits there and who just waits for the bus. You always have to be busy. You always need to distract yourself. I read this quote somewhere where I think Akhil Stokes quoted it, that some barista said there was this guy in the coffee shop. He just sat there by himself, looking around and enjoying his coffee. He looked like a psychopath. And I think that is so true. It really perfectly describes our society today. With the phone, we have completely eliminated the possibility to just do nothing. We have completely eliminated we just have eliminated boredom, essentially. You always have the ability to distract yourself at any given moment. And how often do you pull out your phone? You put it back in your pocket, and 2 seconds later you pull it out again because, well, the thing that you wanted to check or that you did check, you didn't even pay attention to it because you are not really engaging with your phone. It was just a distraction, and you were not even paying attention to what you're doing. And this comes back to trading and being being driven by emotions as a trader. We don't understand when emotions take over, but there are very, very big red flags, big signs when you start to feel aroused, when you maybe tighten up, when your palms get sweaty, maybe your heart starts beating a little bit faster, you just feel a little bit insecure and overexcited, maybe even enthusiastic. On the other hand, on the other side of the spectrum, you just feel overjoyful, and those are the moments when emotions are taking over your trading. What you usually then do is, you probably know it, you do something you know you shouldn't do, and looking back 5 minutes later or 10 minutes or an hour later, you said, wow, how could I have done that? I know that I shouldn't have done it. But what do? You engage in revenge trading. You take a trade that you shouldn't be in, you get in too early, you chase price, you break your rules, you take a position that is way, way, way too big, you just try to play catch up. And often, well, not often, pretty much almost always, the emotions can show us or indicate before we are doing the bad trading behavior and engaging in a bad trading behavior that we are about to do something. But we cannot, or we are just not in tune with ourselves. We are just misaligned. We have lost the ability to feel ourselves really, essentially. And especially if you are trading off your phone, maybe you are somewhere outside, you walk around, you're talking to a friend, maybe you're even on a headset with a friend or with someone else, or you're at home, you have 10 browsers open at the same time, you check your emails, you Skype with a friend, and then you are engaging with your trading platform. This is not how trading should look like. You should always focus your whole attention on your trading. And if you're about to take a trade, just focus on taking a trade. And just Magnus Carlsen said it so nice. He is the number one chess player in the world. And he said that whenever he looks at a chessboard, he knows exactly what he's going to do after 1 second. But he still takes 5, 10, 15, maybe 30 minutes time, maybe even longer, to just double check, because he might have a gut feeling, but he knows that we are so easy to fool ourselves, and we cannot trust ourselves. We need to objectively verify that what we are about to do is right. And just take the finger off the mouse for a few seconds. Think about the trade that you are about to take. Is this really a trade that you should take, or is this a trade that you will regret that you have taken? And just pause for a few moments and just think about what you're about to do. And it really, really helps just to sit back. And I give this exercise among many, many exercises in the mental edge and the psychology course on Tradeciety. Just pause for a moment. Just sit back. And maybe if you are trading from home, ideally, just move your chair back a little bit. Look at your charts and ask yourself, is this a trade I know I should be in or not? And it becomes very clear, usually very, very quickly. Journaling, having a trading journal obviously also helps a lot, because, well, ask yourself, do you remember your last 5 trades? Do you remember your last 10 trades? And if the answer is no, you don't remember exactly all your last 10 trades, how can you really expect to become a better trader if you have no way of even recalling what you did in the past, what worked well, and what didn't? And yeah, you might say, oh, I roughly know I always do this and this and this, and I keep repeating those mistakes. But I've met hundreds of traders who keep saying that, but only when they start a journaling routine, they will really see actually what they're doing and how they are trading. And this can be a big eye-opener. Just recently, one of my students messaged me that he started looking deeper into his last trades with his edge wonk, and he realized that his analysis is often right, but he keeps mismanaging his trades. So he never expected to see that. He always thought his edge or his mistakes are somewhat different. But just understanding that, or seeing in front of you based on your own trading data, that your analysis is good, but you yourself keep mismanaging it. And the only thing you need to do is just manage less. Just let price do its thing. Trust in your analysis and trust in your trade. And whatever it might be, the realization that you get from your trading journal, whatever it might be, seeing it and verifying it, it can be such a huge boost for your confidence. Once you actually see, okay, this is what is costing me a lot of money, and if I just can stop doing this one thing, then my performance will maybe be break even, maybe be profitable, who knows. But this is the only way, I think, how you can really start turning your trading around. Also, meditation obviously helps to get to know yourself and to just pay more attention to yourself and just feel yourself a little bit more. And also, what really happens for me personally, I just try to just pause sometimes. I try to not engage with my phone all the time. Recently, what I did start is when I take my dog out, which is like 3 or 4 times a day, I just leave my phone at home and I just walk and I just take my dog out. And I don't have a way of distracting myself, and I don't have a way to just escape this moment. I just am taking my dog out. That's the thing that I should focus on. And also what you can do is when you have dinner with your spouse or with your friend, put the phone away. Just don't have the TV on in the background. Don't eat while you're watching Netflix. Just eat with your spouse. Talk. And just be in that moment. It's really, it sounds so stupid and so simple. And if you tell our grandparents those little hacks that we are trying to do, we're trying to hack ourselves by just not engaging with our phones, to just walk outside for the sake of walking. We talk to each other. If you tell your grandparents that this is a hack, they will say, "Well, really? That's life. That's how it has been for hundreds or thousands of years. If you walk, you walk. If you talk to someone, you talk to someone. If you wait for the bus, you wait for the bus." And it will feel so awkward, but this should be a very big warning sign. If you just cannot stand there and do nothing, this should be a really big warning sign. And yeah, if you catch yourself, or if you feel it, for the first time for me when I felt it, I was really shocked. I realized I cannot just stand here and I cannot do nothing. My hand is always trying to reach in my pocket. And what am I going to do? I'm going to check Facebook for the 100th time. I'm going to look at Twitter if somebody else liked my tweet, somebody I don't even care about, or I get a new spam email in my Gmail, or I get an annoying WhatsApp message where I have to respond, or where I cannot even do anything because I'm outside and I don't have access to whatever I need access to. It's just a waste, and it's not creating anything positive in your life. And just try maybe once a day or every few days when you go out, just leave your phone at home for maybe half an hour, for an hour, whatever you do when you go grocery shopping. Leave your phone at home and try to see what it is. Or just challenge yourself when you're waiting for the bus. Just wait for the bus. And you will see how awkward you will feel. But this is also one little step towards just being more self-aware. And then you can feel yourself more. And then once you are trading, you will feel your emotions a little bit more. And once you feel your emotions, you can say, okay, what are my emotions trying to tell me right now? And then you can start just managing your emotions better. You can start making better trading decisions and hopefully avoid some of those mistakes that keep costing you so much money as a trader.